Welcome back. So, I wonder if you've experienced anything like this when you've been on vacation. So, this story begins at a travel agency in the Asian American district in LA, and they were advertising what seemed like an amazing deal. You got your flights, your hotel, food. It seemed like a sort of all-inclusive package for what would usually be considered just the price of the flights alone. Jeez. So from LA to Thailand.
Pick that right up.
So yeah, it was a great deal, a no-brainer. Let's go. And so I think the author basically said they went on this, or they read reports of people who went on this trip, and day one was amazing. Like they're really satisfied with the hotel. They had like great activities, banana boat riding, and things on the beach, and then a wonderful sort of felt very luxurious package for day one. Great. But then day two rolled around and they were taken on a tour which started off at just one sort of shopping, souvenir shop. And then there was another one, then there was a jewellery market, and then there was another one and another one. And it turned into almost a full day of being toured around various souvenir shops where everyone was giving the hard sell, really powerfully encouraging people to buy their souvenirs. And a lot of the tourists on this trip felt really bored by this. You know, lots of people were just sitting down, kind of waiting for the bus to go on to the next one. They said as the day got later, people started asking to stay on the bus. They didn't even want to go into the shop because it was so stressful dealing with the sort of hard sell tactics, and they'd let them stay on the bus, but they didn't turn on the AC. So again, they were really pushing them to go into these shops. And I think in the evening there was an entertainment activity, a cabaret or something, but they had to pay extra for that. So they felt a bit like one day of their holiday was a kind of enforced shopping experience, which felt a bit scammy. And a lot of people really didn't enjoy that. So it wasn't a total disaster. You know, there were lots of things they did like about it. But yeah, this one shopping day was really disappointing. And I think this is not the only situation where this kind of thing has happened. I think I've experienced something like this too when I was on vacation, not in Thailand, but in Vietnam. But we'll get into my experiences later. So anyway, some people were saying, you know, maybe they've noticed this kind of potential sort of enforced shopping tours perhaps popping up here in Korea, and the main target is often Chinese tourists or Chinese American tourists. They see them as, you know, someone who might be easily persuaded to spend a bit more than they really want to. And so they're even talking about trying to crack down on this because they don't want Korea to get a bad reputation with tourists. You know, they want people who come here to like the experience and not feel like they're kind of getting scammed or, you know, powerfully encouraged to overspend. So maybe regulating tour guides and what they are allowed and not allowed to do when they offer these package deals. So yes, it's not unique to Thailand or Korea or anywhere. I think lots of people I've heard about have either experienced this or heard about this kind of thing in various nations, and it's never fun. So yeah, let's see if we can avoid this kind of scam. So, John, are you familiar with any Asian American neighborhoods in the US? Have you visited any? Would you like to visit any? What do you know about this?
When I was living in my home state, I believe the Asian population was 2, maybe 3%,
or like
people.
2 people?
I mean, probably it was like, you know, 2 or 3%, and so thousands of people. But in the end, it felt like no one.
Which state was that again?
Colorado.
Colorado.
It might be different now, but back when I was living there. And I looked up, because I wanted to have Korean food before coming to Korea. So I looked up Korean food, and there was one restaurant that was Korean Japanese. And if it was owned by a Korean or a Japanese person, I don't know. But whatever I had was definitely not Korean food. Although it had the Korean stamp on it, like, oh, this is Korean. I don't know if they got it right. I'd love to go back and like test it now.
Yes. Have
like,
they?
This is the place I went to way back when. I'm going back and seeing what it is. They didn't even have soju. Yeah, I'd have sake with my meal.
I see. Only the Japanese liquor?
Only the Japanese liquor. And so definitely no Asian American neighborhoods really that I could even find or think about. The one in LA, though, is super famous. Koreatown, Chinatown, places like that. I would like to go to Koreatown just because, again, I live in Korea and I want to like almost compare and show off my Korean skills a little bit. Maybe get a couple free things from the ajumas that are like, oh, you speak Korean, here you go. Yeah. Basically go there to grift them.
You got
Sounds
your own
terrible.
scam going on here.
Yeah, okay, now since I said it out loud, maybe I shouldn't do that. But I would still like to visit.
Well, to impress them at least.
At least, yeah.
Yes. Well, true. I'd love to see, I like the, Chinatown in the UK. Manchester has a big okay, not big. It has a Chinatown that's very old and the food there is great. And there's just something awesome about this is a slightly blended culture. Obviously they have preserved many of the original Chinese elements, but a lot of them were born in the UK and have grown up in the UK. And so it's a bit of a blend, between Mancunian and China. So that's very cool and unique. So I like these little...
Yeah.
I love them in Korea too. I love going to... there's a tiny little block near Dongdaemun, near DDP, which is like a Russian neighborhood. Lots of little Russian restaurants and Russian supermarkets, and the signs are in Russian. And obviously it's very Koreanized and very blended in. It's people who've been here for a long time, clearly, but it's really cool and unique. And
did you practice your Russian there?
I did try, yes.
Oh, okay.
And got to eat some tasty treats that reminded me of my time in Russia.
Oh.
So that was nice.
Now I need to know more about it someday.
So how about the other part of this article, the enforced shopping situation? I know you've been to Vietnam, and that's where I experienced this actually. Have you ever been in a situation where you felt forced to shop or pressured to buy?
Yeah, the pressure to buy wasn't too bad in the cities. That was like if you went towards the stand, there might be a little bit of pressure, but once you backed off, it was like you're now dead to them and it's the next person. And I was like, I'm okay with that. I hate haggling anyway, so like now going outside the city is different. I went to a mountain city, town, village, whatever. I won't like say the name because I don't want to give bad reputations anywhere, but I left to go on one of those walks of just around the place, and one of the local seller people spotted me, and among my 2-hour walk followed me the entire way trying to sell stuff. And I was like, for one, it's not me. I told them many times I didn't have money. I intentionally left all my money there because I knew this situation could happen. I was like, I have nothing. And they're like, well, we could go back. And I was like, no, I'm not buying anything. I'm not going to do it. Not deterred at all.
I see.
Very disappointed because it's a beautiful area and I just wanted to be at peace enjoying the area. And unfortunately, I was bothered the entire time. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it is sad, you feel their desperation that, this is the group of tourists they're going to see that day. And if they don't sell something, they won't have enough money for the day. And
could be, yeah.
Yeah, you just feel
But
awful.
I think that's part of the pitch too.
Well, again, I suppose that's why you end up not spending anything, because you think, well, I don't actually know what the deal is here. Are these people really desperate? But yes, it's a whole moral and ethical nightmare.
It pulls the heartstrings when you want to just look at the beautiful landscape.
I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
This is my day off from the stresses of the entire world. But.
Yeah.
Well, such is life. So hopefully that kind of thing will not come to Korea, or at least not too much. So what has come to Korea is the English language. You might have noticed as you're here to learn it. So let's pick up a few free English words in the vocabulary section below. No pressure. Take them as you like. And come back and see us in the next article. Bye-bye.
Wipeout.
Wipeout.
Hapless.
Hapless.
slump,
slump,
shopaholic,
shopaholic,
demographic,
demographic,